Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Medicard's series of webinars for the Nutrition Month. I am Dr. Colleen Faustina, Assistant Manager for On-Site Clinic Management and Health Promotion Services, and I will be your host this afternoon. This webinar is the last of our three-part nutrition webinar series, which we prepared in celebration of Nutrition Month 2022. Aging is a natural process. Everyone grows old. Everyone knows someone who is aging. It can be a parent, a relative, a friend. So this webinar will help us focus on the following. First, we will learn about aging and the changes happening in the body as one grows old. Next, we will discover the different nutrition problems that adults face. Then we will also find out the characteristics of diet and healthy eating guidelines for the elderly. And of course, we will appreciate the benefits and recommendations of exercise for the elderly. We invite everyone to participate through providing answers in the chat box because we will be giving away prizes throughout the session. So aside from the takeaway learnings from this webinar, we will also have some people will also have items to enjoy. Winners will be chosen from among those who will participate and will be giving correct answers in the chat box. We also invite those watching through our Facebook page. You can also join us in Zoom. The link will be provided in the best comment section. Okay, I won't keep you waiting. Allow me to introduce our speaker today. The speaker is our very own nutritionist dietitian at the Medical Lifestyle Center. She has been with us since 2019. Prior to joining Medicare, she served as a nutritionist dietitian in Fitness Gourmet PH and Fitness First Philippines. She was also a clinical nutritionist for San Pablo College's Medical Center in San Pablo City, Laguna. With years of experience in therapeutic nutrition, hospital and commercial food service administration, our speaker also creates nutrition care plan for weight and disease management. Ladies and gentlemen, our speaker for today, registered nutritionist dietitian, Ms. Jerica Suarez.
Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. So last week we discussed about adults. So now to conclude our webinar series, I will be discussing nutrition for elderly. So last week we had a very interactive discussion. So we will bring it back. We will have a Q&A in between our in between topics. Okay. So first, let's define aging. So according to WHO, aging is resulted from the building of different molecular and cellular damage over time, as well as these changes lead to reduction in physical and mental capacity, predisposition to disease and death. Also, these transformations are neither linear nor consistent and just mere association to a person's age. So it means, kapag sinabing elderly ka na or older adult, kung categorize ka na as elderly or older adult, it doesn't mean na kapag yung physical features mo is old or your physical capacity is old, it's just mere association to a person's age. So, older persons are defined as individuals 60 years old and above. So, ano nga ba yung mga changes in the body as we age? First, bones tend to shrink in size and density, making it weak and more susceptible to fracture. So, di ba yung mga running joke sa mga lolo at lola, mahina na ang buto? Kasi as we age, naturally, it tends to shrink in size. Muscles lose strength, endurance, flexibility, resulting to decrease in coordination, balance, and stability. Also, there are changes in the structure of large...
Apologies for interrupting. I think your slides are frozen.
Oh, okay.
It's still in the title page.
So let me check. Okay. Okay na ba tayo?
Slide share.
Okay, I'll slide share. Ayan.
Thank you.
Okay, actually, okay, I'll stop and then I'll share it again. Okay, sorry for that. Let me share it again. So yeah, so to continue, changes the structure of large intestine can lead to constipation. Also, the bladder becomes less elastic that causes to urinate more frequently. And also, there's a weakening in the bladder muscles that lead to urinary incontinence. So, meaning kaya pa yung mga lolo't lola natin, hindi nila napipigilan yung pag-ihi. Minsan, hindi na diretso sa CR, naiihi na agad sila, or yung palaging naiihi yung feeling. Also, there are changes in the memory and thinking skills. Difficulty in focusing on objects close up. There's also sensitivity to glare and problems adapting to different levels of light. Hearing might diminish, and skin becomes less elastic and more fragile. There's also slowing down of metabolism. So after 30 years old, we tend to lose about 3 to 5% of muscle mass. Starting at 20 years old naman, our metabolism slows down at 1 to 2% per decade. So kapag 30 years old na, less than 150 calories na slower tayo compared ng mga 20s. That is why kapag naging 30 and above na yung edad natin, feeling natin ba't gano'n yung food intake ko is not as much as nung 20 years old ako, pero nagiging pa rin ako ng weight. So this will be the reason because naturally our metabolism slows down as we age. Also, I want to point out the difference of metabolism to intestinal transit. Kasi may yung mga patient na nagsasabi sa akin na, Miss Jerica, lagi naman ako nagde-defecate every morning. So, mabilis yung metabolism ko. Actually, intestinal transit o yung pag-defecate mo faster is different from metabolism. So, intestinal transit will be yung movement ng pagkain, so na kinain mo siya, tapos napupunta siya sa digestive tract natin, and may-defecate mo siya. That will be intestinal motility, gastric motility. And metabolism will be the capacity of your body to convert yung food into energy. And one relationship ng metabolism will be sa muscle mass. If we have more muscle mass, the more calories we need to burn. So, it's logical to think na kapag talaga tumatanda kasi tayo, bumababa yung muscle mass natin, kaya yung capacity natin to burn gets lower. So, kaya bumabagal yung metabolism. Okay, so clear na tayo sa intestinal transit and metabolism. Okay, other changes happening in our body as we age. First, yung cardiovascular system. So, our blood pressure increases and our efficiency of our heart decreases as well as the elasticity of blood vessels. That's why kapag tumatanda, tumataas yung blood pressure. And also for the renal system, the blood flow to the kidneys decreases as blood vessels become smaller and thicker, resulting to renal hypertension. Also, there is a decrease in the ability to concentrate urine and remove drugs from the body. So we all know na ang role ng kidneys natin is to filter blood and to convert the toxins into urine. So kapag nag-deteriorate yung kidneys natin, it will also affect its capacity to filter. So actually kapag di ba pag tumatanda na tayo, nandiyan na yung mga maintenance ng gamot, so mas nahihirapan pala yung kidneys natin to filter it out. Also, with the consideration na marami nang iniinom na maintenance ng gamot. Also, there will be a decrease in the muscle mass, fat mass, and bone mass. For the nervous system, there's the sense of smell and taste decrease as well as the changes in sleep cycle. The visual acuity diminishes also. So for the respiratory system, there's a decrease in the elasticity of the lungs as well as the respiratory muscles lose strength and endurance. So kapag nag-decrease yung elasticity ng lungs, the more work for our lungs to breathe. So, ibig sabihin, mas mahirapan tayo, more added energy to use para lang makahinga. Okay, and then for the gastrointestinal system, tooth loss may occur, and also mucus and saliva production decreases. So, with this, kailangan natin i-consider yung texture ng pagkain na kakainin ng mga lolo at lola. Also, there's a decrease in the production of hydrochloric acid. So, the function of hydrochloric acid in our body, it breaks down, it digests, and it also absorbs, it helps in the absorption of protein. as well as it eliminates bacteria or other pathogens sa stomach. So kapag bumaba siya, it will affect the absorption of some nutrients. There's also decrease in gastric and pancreatic enzyme production. So meron pa rin na effect on the absorption or also in the digestion of some nutrients. And slower peristalsis. So ang peristalsis po, so pag kumain tayo, yung para pumunta yung pagkain sa ating digestive tract, merong muscle contraction. So yung muscle contraction, that will be the peristalsis. So it gets slower as we age. So ang effect will be kung slower yung peristalsis, slower yung movement ng pagkain, there will be constipation. So that's why yung mga lolo at lola madalas constipated po. So for the
Okay,
first
right
item,
there. Excuse me. Pasensya na. We're still seeing slide 3. So would you like assistance in sharing your slide?
Okay, I'll stop share it again and then share it again. Okay. Can you see it now? The quiz time.
Okay. Try to. Ayan. So now we're seeing question 1. Okay.
First question. Okay. Sorry for that. So for first question, true or false? The transformations as we get older are neither linear nor consistent and just mere association to a person's age. True or false? Okay, let's wait for the answers.
We invite everyone to send their answers in the chat box. So thank you. Again, so we're seeing a lot of true answers.
Okay.
Wala pang false.
Okay, so for the answer will be true. So the transformations as we get older are neither linear nor consistent and just mere association to a person's age. So second question. So can you see the second question na po?
Yes.
Okay, so which of the following is a transformation that happens when we age? So A, muscle gain and strength. B, bones tend to shrink in size and density. C, large intestine does not change. Or D, bladder becomes more elastic. So which of the following is one of the transformations that happening to our body as we age? So let me check the answers of our participants.
Most of them, all of them are answering, most are answering B. There are some B.
Okay, so the answer will be B. Bones tend to shrink in size and density. Okay, for our next question. Which of the following is a transformation that happens when we age? So another, kung ano bang transformation nangyayari? A, blood pressure decreases. Or B, renal blood flow increases. Or C, decrease in peristalsis resulting to constipation. Or D, visual acuity improves. So which?
Most are answering C.
C. Okay, so the answer will be letter C, decreased peristalsis resulting to constipation. Okay, so don't worry kasi marami pa tayong questions in between the topics. So moving on for the nutrition problems. So let's cite some nutrition problems among our elderly. So first, underweight. Although yung prevalence ng underweight sa mga Filipinos will be very low, still worth noting na meron pa rin mga underweight na mga lolo at lola. Also, there will be overweight and obesity, and also micronutrient deficiencies such as calcium, vitamin D, and anemia. So what are the nutrition-related conditions in older adults? First, age-related macular degeneration. So talaga, as we age, lumalabo ang mata. So to slow its progression, we need to consume antioxidants such as vitamin C, E, zinc, copper, and phytochemicals such as lutein and zeaxanthin. Also, there's sarcopenia or involuntary loss of lean body mass caused by, actually can be attributed to inadequate physical activity as well as inadequate protein intake. There's also bacterial overgrowth. So earlier we discussed the different structural changes happening in our digestive system kapag tumatanda tayo. So there will be decreased gastrointestinal tract motility due to slow peristalsis. Also, low production of hydrochloric acid that increases your bacterial population growth. So kaya nagkakaroon ng mga GA problems and also the absorption of nutrients nako-compromise. Also, there will be osteoporosis. So as we all know, that's why sa mga older adults, talagang pinopromote ang pag-inom ng gatas because of the vitamin D and calcium inadequacy. And that can lead to bone breakage and loss of bone mass. Also, there's dementia. So high fat intake or obesity is associated with dementia. So it's best to consume low-fat diet. Plant-based diet can be an option. And also intake of antioxidants such as vitamin B6, B12, and folate could help slow down its progression. Also, there's impaired immune function. So as we age, naturally nagde-decline ang immune functions. Also, it can be exacerbated by inadequate intake of protein, zinc, and vitamin D. So it's best to slow down its progression, also to help our immune function, is to consume antioxidants and these vitamins. And there's also atrophic gastritis. In so many studies, makikita na very prevalent sa mga lolo at lola yung atrophic gastritis. It could be due to autoimmune disorder that it destroys the cell in the stomach na nagpo-produce ng gastric acid and intrinsic factor, or also it could be because of the bacterial overgrowth. So in any of these reasons, kaya nagka-atrophic gastritis, it hinders the absorption of vitamin B12. That's why for older adults, vitamin B12 supplementation or increase of vitamin B12 intake should be promoted. Also, diverticulosis. So there will be tiny pockets sa mga colon due to low fiber intake or very high fat intake. Kaya nagkakaroon ng diverticulosis. And it's very common in old age. Okay, so what are the situation of older adults in the Philippines? So relatively, bata pa ang population ng Pilipinas compared sa other Asian countries. We have 11.31% na mga seniors sa Pilipinas. And the prevalence of overweight will be 24.7%. For obese, 6.3%. And yung high waist circumference, as discussed last week, this is associated to predisposition to non-communicable diseases. Medyo mataas yung percentage ng females compared sa males. Also, for the central adiposity, 72% are females and 64% are males. So, mataas yung prevalence ng central adiposity sa mga lolo at lola. Other than that, the high fasting blood sugar, 13.8%. And there's a decline on iodine deficiency disorder, but excessive intake of iodine is increased. So pag excessive yung intake, pwede hyperthyroidism or inflammation sa thyroid. And for the lifestyle, 4 out of 10 elderly are engaged in binge drinking. So we all know, pag umiinom ng alak, it can increase our triglyceride and LDL level or yung bad cholesterol. So this is not a good sign. Also, this is a public health concern kasi almost kalahati ng mga lolo at lola natin is physically inactive. So pag physically inactive, mas predisposed sa mga non-communicable diseases, and also hindi naging healthy yung pagtanda ng mga lolo at lola kapag inactive sila. Okay, for the quiz. So can you see my screen? We're all in this page. Okay na?
Yes, it's on the screen now.
Okay.
Yes.
So for our question, true or false? Lack of physical activity and inadequate consumption of calcium and vitamin D in older adults can lead to osteoporosis. True or false? Okay, let's wait for the others to type in their answers? Okay.
We're getting all true answers.
So, the answer will be true. So, very popular naman kasi sa mainstream media, pinopromote yan ang pag-inom ng gatas sa mga elderly. So, true. Next question. Okay, true or false ulit? Older persons should not eat vitamin B12 rich foods or take vitamin B12 supplementation. True or false? So, just to give you an idea, vitamin B12 rich foods are syempre makukuha po sa mga meat and mga fortified na treats.
We're getting false. Most answers are false.
Okay, so the correct answer is false. So, kailangan ng vitamin B12 ng mga elderly because of the gastric changes na nangyayari, wherein yung vitamin B12 po, na-absorb talaga siya through sa stomach po. Okay, next question po. According to the 2018 to 2019 ENNS, 50.6% of Filipino seniors are physically inactive. True or false? Okay.
Answers
The
coming in
answer
are all true.
is true. So, kalahati ng mga lolo at lola po natin ay physically inactive. Okay, to continue, what are the healthy diets for the elderly? So, we will discuss the characteristics, the healthy eating guide, Pinggang Pinoy for the elderly, and sample portion sizes and meal plan for the elderly. So, to start, ano dapat yung characteristics ng diet ng mga elderly? So, first, ang goal natin is to maintain good nutrition and slows down the decrease in health. Also, we should provide them with low caloric levels to prevent overweight and obesity. But this will be a different case kapag underweight po yung senior. There should be adequate protein, and to prevent nutritional anemia, we should include iron, vitamin B12, folic acid, and vitamin C in the diet. Calcium is needed for the bone health, and add fiber and enough water to prevent constipation. I would like to emphasize enough water kasi hindi pwedeng puro fiber lang. Walang magpupush po doon sa fiber to, para makadefecate ng maayos. Kailangan talaga may enough water din. Okay, and for the healthy eating guide, first, include numerous servings of fruits, vegetables, whole grains for fiber, vitamins, and minerals. The recommended fiber intake will be 20 to 25 grams per day. So, the 20 to 25 grams per day will not be the amount of food that you'll be taking na mataas sa fiber. Ito po yung amount mismo ng fiber. So, to give you an idea, 70 grams ng boiled munggo, will give us 11 grams of fiber. So, kapag yung mga oatmeal, mga 2 to 3 grams yung one serving. Okay, so we should cut down on sodium intake by avoiding salt at the table. Low sodium intake is 140 milligrams or less of sodium per serving. So choose foods with no more than 30% of calories from fat. So we discussed this last week sa nutrition facts discussion. And with the less 10% of total calories from saturated fat. Drink at least 6 to 8 glasses of water or fruit juices. Maintain adequate calcium intake, 800 to 1,000 milligrams per day of calcium. Just to give you an idea, yung 1 glass of milk will give you around 500 to 600 milligrams of calcium to delay incidence of bone disease, especially among women. Also consume high quality of proteins like lean meats, poultry, fish, eggs, and low-fat milk and milk products. So, limit intake of gas-forming vegetables. So, as mentioned kanina, merong mga gastric symptoms talaga yung mga matatanda, and minsan nahihirapan na sila mag-digest because of slow peristalsis. So, we should limit intake of gas-forming vegetables such as dry peas, cabbage, cauliflower, and radish, or take this in moderation. Food should be cut in bite-sized or small pieces, lalo na po dun sa may problems na po sa pagmuya or sa paglunok. And if elderly has problems chewing food, puree or grind food. Have small frequent meals rather than 3 big meals in a day. So, hindi natin pwedeng pilitin sila lola at lola na kumain ng 3 big meals in a day. So, pwede pong hati-hatiin natin. Pwedeng 3 meals tapos may snacks in between para makuha lang yung total calorie needs niya per day. Also, limit intake of foods with very little amount of nutrients, such as sugar drinks, clear broth, or carbonated drinks. Because, syempre yung pagkain nila, very tiring na sa kanila yon, parang work na sa kanila. Kasi di ba humihina na yung katawan nila. So, hindi dapat natin sila bigyan ng mga pagkain na very limited yung amount ng nutrients na makukuha nila. Also, cut down on high caffeine food and beverages to prevent nervousness and sleeplessness. That will be, I think, hard for our elders kasi mahilig talaga sa kape. But you have to cut down para maiwasan nervousness and sleeplessness. Okay, for the quiz. Are you with me? Nandito na ba kayo sa slide na to?
Yes, we're seeing the question.
Okay, so first question for this topic. Which of the following is a characteristic of the diet for the elderly? A, low calorie, adequate protein, high in fiber, and enough water. Or B, high calorie, low protein, low fiber. Or C, high calorie, high protein, and high sugar. Or D, none of the above. Okay, let's see for the others.
Answers coming in are all A.
Okay, so the correct answer will be A, low calorie, adequate in protein, high in fiber, and enough yung water. For the fat, should be low fat or moderate fat, depending on the health condition din ng elders. Okay, for the second question, which of the following are nutrients to be taken to prevent anemia? A, calcium and vitamin D. B, iron, vitamin B12, folate, and vitamin C. Letter C, vitamin K and vitamin A, or D, none of the above. So I'm also checking the chat box for your answer. Okay.
Most answered B, some answered A and C.
Okay, so correct answer will be B. So pag po anemia or problem natin sa dugo, it will always be associated to iron, vitamin B12, folate, and vitamin C. Okay, so last question for this topic. What is the recommended amount of fiber for older adults? A, 50 grams, B, 35 to 40, C, 10 to 12 grams, or D, 20 to 25 grams per day. Check your answers. Okay. The answer is letter D, 20 to 25 grams. So 50 masyado namang mataas, 35 to 40, that will also be high. But on specific medical conditions, siguro 10 to 12 will be very low. Okay. So moving on. For our next topic, it will be pinggang Pinoy for elders. So the last two webinars that we had, we discussed the pinggang Pinoy. So almost the same in terms of itsura niya, but yung general guidelines will be different per life stages. So for elders po, same pa rin, kalahati ng plato dapat from go and grow foods. So for go foods, prefer whole grains such as brown rice, root crops, oatmeal para mataas yung fiber. For grow foods, that will be fishes, lean meats, eggs, or dairy like milk. And for grow foods, dapat mag-consume ng at least 2 to 3 times per week ng fatty fish. Kasi fatty fish, mataas sa omega-3. That will help you decrease or protect you against the heart diseases. And half of your plate should come from glow foods such as vegetables and fruits for fiber, vitamins, and minerals. Okay. And avoid also sugary drinks. Consume water or milk. Okay, for the recommendation, this will be a recommendation for a 2,000 calorie diet for male adults, 60 years old and above. For glow foods, dapat meron siyang 3/4 cups ng gulay to 1 cup and a piece of medium-sized fruit or a slice of big fruit. Sa go foods, dapat meron siyang 1 cup of rice or 4 pieces ng pandesal or loaf bread or a cup of noodles and a piece of fruit crop. Yung grow foods niya, yung ulam niya dapat 2 pieces ng small variety of fish or 2 slices ng large variety of fish or 2 piraso ng maliit na chicken leg or 2 servings of lean meat or 2 pieces of tokwa or a piece of chicken egg. For healthy female adult, for the calorie, this will be around 1,540 calories. Same 3/4 cups to 1 cup of vegetables, a piece of medium fruit or a slice of big fruit, 3/4 cups ng rice instead of 1, or 3 pieces of pandesal or loaf bread, and 3/4 cups ng noodles, and 3/4 piece, medium piece of root crop. For raw foods, same pa rin, 2 pieces of small variety fish, or 2 slices of large variety fish, or 2 pieces of small chicken leg, or 2 servings of lean meat, and 2 pieces of tokwa, or a piece of chicken egg. So, for illustration, for males, na lolo at lolo natin, dapat ganito yung food nila. So, same a cup of rice, then a cup of gulay, tapos isang slice ng ulam, then a fruit. So, same goes sa lunch and dinner. For snacks, still, we still promoting high fiber na, high fiber containing naman carbs, like root crops, kakanin, pwede rin naman po. Pag female naman, 3/4 cups na siya ng rice and 3/4 cups na siya ng gulay. And still, may merienda. And consume, for males, 8 glasses or more ng tubig and a glass of milk daily. For females po, 7 or more glasses of water na glass of milk. So, ayan yung dapat itsura ng pagkain ng mga elders natin. Okay, for the quiz on this round. So, true or false, it is recommended for seniors to consume whole grains instead of refined carbohydrates. True or false? We'll be waiting. Bilis na ngayon yung mga participants na sumagot. And the answer will be true. So, kailangan, instead of refined carbohydrates, kasi syempre, yung prevalence din of diabetes sa mga elders mataas. So, kailangan whole grains para mas mababa sa glycemic index. So, this will be true. Next question. The recommended water intake for seniors is 5 to 6 glasses per day. True or false? Medyo hati yung answers. Okay, the answer will be false po. At least po, 7 to 8. Opo, 5 to 6 masyado pong mababa yung intake ng tubig. Okay, so to continue, this will be the last topic of this webinar, benefits of exercise for the elderly. So ano ba yung mga benefits na dudulot ng pag-eehersisyo? Kasi kanina talaga nalaman natin na half of our lolo at lola mga physically inactive, and that will be a public health concern. So, to show you the benefits, first, for weight management. So, syempre, as we age, we get slower metabolism. Yung iba dyan, naging overweight or obese na. So, for weight management, makakatulong para magbawas sila ng timbang. Also, it strengthens bones and muscles as sa previous slide natin about common nutrition problems among elderly. One will be yung inadequate physical activity can be attributed dun sa mga, or lalo na pinapalala, yung mga common na naturally occurring na changes sa body ng elderly. So, like sa bones, also sarcopenia. So, as the more na humihina yung bones and muscles. So, it also prevents or manage non-communicable diseases such as diabetes, heart disease, and some cancer. So, it is really recommended kapag diabetic and merong problems sa heart diseases to work out or to exercise para to lessen the symptoms or to manage these diseases. Also, to improve your mental health and delays dementia. So, also, it improves quality of life and well-being. So, what are the recommendations for older adults? So first, kailangan merong 150 minutes or 30 minutes a day for 5 days of moderate intensity aerobic exercises or activities. So ano ba yung mga moderate intensity activities? It could be just brisk walking, 30 minutes a day for 5 days. It could be just gardening or pwede pong mag-bike or just climbing stairs. So, for endurance, this will be for endurance para magawa niya itong mga activities na to. Para makasayaw, makaakit ng hagdanan. Also, for strength. So, kailangan in a week may 2 or more days a week for muscle strengthening activities that work all major muscle groups, such as leg, hips, back, abdomen, chest, shoulders, and arms. Para magawa natin to, to lift groceries and carry grandchildren. So we need certain activities to prevent or to slow down the progression of sarcopenia or involuntary muscle loss. Also, if there's no chronic conditions and physical disabilities, we can add balance activities such as walking backward or standing in one leg or using wobble board for 3 days a week. So, isang people be use a chair or the wall for support. So you can prevent falls and related injuries. So we need these. We need for endurance, strength, and balance. Okay, for the Q&A. So first question, which the following is not a benefit of exercise for older adults? A, improve mental health and prevent dementia. B, weight management. C, manage hypertension, diabetes, and some cancers. Or D, weakens bones and muscles. Let me check your answers. Okay, the answer will be D. So sa lahat ng to will be benefits of exercising for older adults except for weakening of bones and muscles. Syempre mas nagiging tumitibay siya as we work it out. Kasi sabi nga nila, di ba? If you don't use it, you will lose it. So we need to use our bones and muscles. So another question will be, true or false? It is recommended for seniors to have 30 minutes per day for 5 days of moderate intensity exercises. True or false? Okay, and the answer will be true. So ito po yung general recommendation, 30 minutes per day for 5 days na moderate intensity exercises. Okay, for next question po. It is not recommended for seniors with chronic conditions or physical disabilities to add balance exercises to their exercises. True or false? Hindi daw dapat nagbabalance exercises kung wala namang limitations or chronic conditions. So, true or false po? Okay, so the answer will be false po. So it is recommended, lalo na kung kaya pa naman nilang mag-exercise and to do balance exercises, mas ina-encourage natin. Okay, and that will be my last question for this topic. I hope you learned a lot about elderly and their current nutritional problems. Here are my references for your ano po, if you need it. The Dr. Lean.
Okay, thank you very much, Jerica, for that very rich presentation. So let's give her a virtual clap, everyone. Thank you, Jerica. As promised, we will be giving away prizes to those who provided answers in the chat box earlier. So the winners will be notified through their emails. At this point, we will be reading questions. So wala pang pumapasok dito, but there are some private messages that I received. So let's read them first as we wait for others to type in their question. So Jerica, the question here is, the elderly would often prefer diet or sugar-free drinks or food. What do you comment on that?
So mas prefer din yung sugary drinks because for preference, parang gano'n ng mga elderly. Actually, we have to balance din everything. Minsan kasi ayaw nyo talagang kumain or dahil nga, diba, sa mga changes sa adults, it affects also their taste. So baka minsan, they taste yung mga food as planned, tapos yung mga sugary products, mas nalalasahan nila, kaya mas prefer nila yon. So with that, you should take it in moderation din, lalo na kung meron din pong diabetes or mataas din yung blood sugar ng elders natin. You have to take, i-moderate pa rin yung intake nun. And also, they can consume naman po mga milks, yung mga healthy milk, yung mga milks designed for elders. That will be more beneficial for them instead yung mga sugary drinks talaga or carbonated drinks. So, for the mga sugar-free carbonated drinks naman, in moderation pa rin siya kasi syempre, mataas pa rin sa phosphorus yung carbonated drinks. Baka mas lalo pa pong lumupok yung mga buto nila or mabawasan yung bone mass density po.
And then, of course, instant or powdered juices versus fresh juices. What will be the better
Actually,
option?
yes. For the instant or mga para instant na mga juices, preferred pa rin po talaga yung mga fruit juices or yung mga fruit shakes instead of yung mga easy na hinahalo lang. Mas less yung sugar niya. And you can add fiber with the fruit shakes or fruit juices.
Oh. So again, another question, how important it is also to have vitamin D in the diet?
Uh, sorry, the question would be the importance or how can we
Vitamin D in the person's nutrition.
yes. For vitamin D, since nga po bumababa yung density, bone mass density nila, so we need calcium and vitamin D supplementation. So you can get it from not only from milk actually, but also from small fishes, yung mga shellfish. But the general recommendation will be, it comes from the milk also, milk form din.
Okay. Okay. So this is another question. There are meal replacements that are in liquid form, no? So what's your comment on this?
Okay.
Mga milk or canned
Sa mga milk, okay.
supplements.
Actually, we give it to mga elders po, lalo na kung compromise yung pagkain nila. Hindi na sila makanguya, mahirapan na makaubos talaga ng isang plate, we can supplement them, use it as supplementation. Pero kung purely dun lang yung food, pero active pa naman or kaya pa naman nilang kumain, mas pinopromote pa rin namin po, syempre, yung pagkain nila ng solid foods compared din sa mga meals. Pero it can be a supplement, lalo na kung hindi na talaga kumain, hindi talaga nakakaubos ng mga meals.
Okay. And then with regards to milk, again, can you emphasize what is their best milk to take for the elderly? Then how many, how much per day?
Okay. The general recommendation would be 1 glass per day. And for the kind of milk, marami na pong available ngayon na specifically for them, for older adults. So, kapag sinabing for older adults talaga, yung amount, yung nutrients na nandun po is that caters po sa mga ano po, kailangan ng mga elders natin. So for the general recommendation will be 1 glass per day. But if they have a specific health condition, we can change it or we can base it accordingly kasi iba-iba rin naman. Example, kung diabetic pa tapos elders. So we have to consider that also and also the kind of milk that they will be drinking. Also, if they have problems then sa kidneys and everything po. So we have to consider that. So we can include it sa meal plan pero considering yung mga nutrients sa kasama.
Okay, thank you. So here's another question. My Lola eats a lot of avocados. Is that okay?
Okay, for avocado po, healthy fat siya. We considered it actually as a fat, not a fruit or not a vegetable, but fat. Pero good fat naman siya. Pero depende kung paano nila kinakain. Kasi di ba, as Filipinos, we consume it with milk or condensed milk or sugar. So, syempre, pag may added sugars or added milk pa, added calories or added, ano pa siya, fats and sugar. So, we have to, limit kung maraming maglagay ng mga ganong food or pampalasa dun sa food. So, kailangan po i-consider din kung diabetic din ba siya or mataas, mamaya mataas din yung mga lipid profile or masyado na mataas yung lipid profile. Diba po? Although, good fat can help you reduce yung mga bad cholesterol, pero yun nga po, inilalagay din natin siya sa avocado. Unless, kinakain niya po yung avocado as is.
Okay. So here's one question in Zoom. Ma'am, ano po yung pwedeng rice for diabetic elderly?
Okay, for the rice, okay, we prefer, as mentioned po, we prefer whole grains. So, yung may mga kulay, brown, red, black po, para mas mataas yung fiber, mas mababa po yung glycemic index compared dun po sa white rice.
Okay, you mentioned fiber. So what if the elderly does not eat vegetables? How can we provide fiber?
Okay, from whole grains. You can consume whole grains or mga dried beans like munggo or yun po. Sa mga whole grains na lang siya babawi. Pero kailangan talaga may gulay. Kasi other than fiber, you can get other nutrients din from green leafy vegetables like vitamin C po and yun po. And iron, mga ano po, heme iron sa ano po, green leafy vegetables. So, kailangan pa rin kumain ng gulay but if very minimal yung consumption sa whole grains po.
Okay, you mentioned nuts and grains. What about may bawal bang nuts sa mga elderly
Nuts.
because of
Okay.
their arthritis daw?
Okay. Sa arthritis actually, hindi naman talaga bawal yung mga nuts. Baka masyadong maalat or kasi yung mga beans, plant-based po siya. So, hindi po talaga siya directly makaka-apekto sa uric acid. So, maybe sa paraan po ng pagluluto, example, kung nuts, kung prito, tapos maraming asin, so it could affect. Kung sa munggo masyadong maalat or nilalagyan pa ng chicharon or mga small fishes, so it can add up dun sa total purine count nung pagkain. So not really related sa mga beans or nuts, but more on sa preparation and mga added pa na condiments na nilalagay. So for gout or para sa mga low purine diet, kailangan po bawasan yung alat ng mga pagkain, like mga patis, or sobrang condiments, as well as sa mga broth. So baka doon na napapasobra, kaya nare-relate nila yung munggo sa pamamaga ng joints. But beans as itself, hindi po nakakataas dapat siya ng uric acid.
Okay. You mentioned about mga alat or magpalasa sa food, no? What about meat cubes or yung flavorings that we add? So ngayon uso na yun, no? Even the coconut milk already has a ginisang flavor. So what's your comment on that?
Okay, syempre we should take it in moderation pa rin kasi lalo kung may health condition yung mga lolo at lola, kailangan medyo limited po yung amount ng mga pampalasa or mga broth cubes kasi it can increase the urine levels po, uric acid. So, in moderation po yung paggamit. So, we promote usage of mga herbs and spices to season the food instead of maraming paglagay ng mga broth cubes or mga condiments po.
So now, moving on to staple food or common food sa hinahain natin, which is sinigang. What about salmon sinigang? So, kailangan to take it so much kung favorite ng elderly.
Kung favorite, okay. For salty fatty fish, so beneficial naman siya kasi mataas sa omega-3. Wala po, syempre, may caution tayo dun sa pampasim, baka insect yung ginagamit. So, yun na lang po, medyo bawasan kung halos everyday. Kasi di pa po, for elders, kailangan yung pagkain nila moist. Kasi nahihirapan na minsan sa lumanok o yung mga pagkain. So, para mapabilis yung pagkain nila, kailangan moist na siya. So, okay lang naman po may sabaw, but syempre, our recommendation will be, syempre medyo iba-ibahin para hindi siya magsawa sa food. Pero kung siga po, limit na lang po yung amount ng pampalasa. Lalo na kung instant. But if it's not, comes from natural, like yung mga kamyas, kamatis, okay lang naman po.
Okay, another question in Zoom. Ano pong magandang vitamins para sa mga patanda pa lang po? Tatawid pa lang yata daw.
So ito yung mga 19 to 14. Actually, there's no specific vitamins. Okay. Ano lang po, more on, if we consume a variety of foods every day, mamimit naman unless po may specific health condition or may micronutrient deficiency. But if you're taking multivitamins, okay lang po. But for me, it's still best to consume a variety of foods every day para you can take the vitamins and minerals from food sources. Yung mga vitamins as in yung tinitake will be just a supplementation. So,
okay. Speaking of vitamins, when we expose, you mentioned, I think when you expose elderly to sunlight, so tumataas din yung nila, di ba, vitamin D. So how long Should they be exposed to sunlight? And what's the best time of the day for
So for
them to be out?
vitamin D, it gets activated po actually kapag tumatama yung sun, yung UV sa skin natin. So actually, best time, syempre hindi pa yung sobrang init na yung UV, sobrang ano na, nakakasama na sa balat, maybe morning, mga 7 to 8. And siguro 30 minutes will do na po for the activation of vitamin D. Not naman yung
Okay.
isang oras na magbibilad po yung mga lolo at lola.
For exercise. Speaking of exercise, if my Lola does laundry at least once a week, is that considered an exercise?
At least once a week. So the recommendation will be 30 minutes per day. So kung hindi lang naman naglalaba, may other chores pa siya, like nagwawali sa loob ng bahay, 30 minutes max, that will be considered as exercise na po for endurance. So, yun po, 30 minutes per day for 5 days po yung recommendation. Any household chores?
We just encourage them to move around
Yes.
most of the time. Okay. And then, would you consider calorie counting still in the elderly?
Yes, especially if meron po silang specific health condition. Recommended pa rin po na magpa-check ng calorie requirement. And also, get them assessed kung ano po yung kailangan ng nutrients. Because yung pinakita ko kanina will be the general kung ano yung micronutrient deficiency sa mga elders. So, but specific for specific person, maybe it differs. So, kailangan natin i-check yung nutrition assessment and also provide them yung nutrition recommendations for them.
Okay. What about chocolates for the elderly?
Chocolates, okay.
Ano daw yung magandang recommendation?
But still, like adults, ano po, very small lang dapat. Yung very minimal yung amount ng sugar. Lalo na kung diabetic po. So, kailangan ano talaga. Watchful tayo sa amount ng sugar saka fat. Kasi chocolate, diba, mataas yung saturated fat. So, we have to lessen it. So, check na lang po natin yung amount. Although chocolates, dark chocolates, mataas antioxidant, but still, mataas po yung saturated fat and sugar.
Okay, thank you. We have a question here. Since also daw yung dengue, are there food that can increase platelet count?
Platelet count. So I guess with this, general ano po, nutrition pa rin. If it depends po kung nakakakain pa rin yung person na may dengue. But still the ano po, the intake of food nagmamat kung balance po for the platelet count. So
Plus
still adequate
fluids.
protein. Yeah, so still adequate protein po. And total calories will matter po.
Sige. In terms of physical activity, what about jumping? Should we limit jumping in adults? Yung mga nagzuzumba
O sa mga lolo sa mga lolo at lola, baka po yung jumping hindi pwede kasi pag nagja-jump yung ballistic movements at pwede pong ano po, maapektuhan yung tuhod. Lalo kung mahina na sila. So jumping will not be ano po, parang ganun, ideal for them. Siguro mga walking, basic walking. Na po, brisk walking, yun, mga ganun na lang po. Pero medyo i-avoid yung mga ballistic movement unless kaya talaga nila. But po, parang brisk walking pa rin yung mas advisable compared to that.
It will be
And
safer.
especially kung ano po, mataas yung weight o mabigat po. So kung mga ballistic movements yung gagawin, baka masira or ano po, mapilayan. Kasi yung weight mapupunta lahat sa tuhod pag nagja-jump po, pag tumatalon.
Okay, so do we have any more questions? I think I've read the last question. We have indeed covered a lot, no, in the last hour, plus the questions pa that you shared with us earlier, and then I think they got the excitement naman they were excited to answer it. So before we end this session, maybe you can invite our audience to book an appointment with you, Jerica. Go ahead.
Yes, since we're talking about nutrition assessment, so I conduct nutrition assessment, and if you have any nutrition concerns, or you want to have your nutrition counseling, you can set an appointment with us. Just call us at 8878-5101, local 5107, or 0919-082-8773, or email us at appt.mlc@medicaltools.com, or just scan this QR code to set an appointment. My clinic schedule will be Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 12 noon. So we encourage still that you book your appointment with us before coming to the clinic. So para po mas secure yung slot.
Okay, thank you very much,
Thank
Jerica. There
you.
you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you learned how graceful aging can be a reflection of proper nutrition. We do hope to see you in our future webinars. We will be sending invitations through emails and our social media pages. If you missed the session, you may access the recording through our Facebook page. It will be shared in the chat boxes. So that's all for this afternoon. So we bid everyone goodbye and see you again next time. Keep safe always.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Time passes by with a multitude of changes, and every day can pass.
All new places, different faces in a world where changes everywhere you turn.
Find a friend you can rely on.
Hold the helping hand that shares. Keep the company that will truly care. The company that doctors build. The caring and the expertise. We're here
To serve you through the years,
for all that life may bring. We're here to help your family live in health and grow your dreams. Company that doctors build, the caring and the expertise.
Finding
Medicard, Medicard, find